Good morning, Ms. Bermudez.
Good morning, Judge.
How are you doing today?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. We have two individuals that are going to need your services here today. The first, his last name is Bailon, Bailon. And I don't know if that's Bailon Saldado. Do you need his charges?
I do have his charges, Judge.
Okay. And the second person is going to be, last name is Robledo.
Robledo. I also have his.
Okay. Deputy Requena, let's bring up Mr. Bailon first.
Yes, Your Honor. One, you gotta give.
Mr. Bailon, good morning, sir.
Señor Bailón, buenos días, señor.
Can you hear and understand the interpreter?
¿Puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Okay.
My name is Brad Gardner. I'm the judge in Magistrate Court.
Mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy el juez del Tribunal de Primera Instancia.
This is your first appearance hearing.
Esta es su comparecencia inicial.
My duty at this hearing is to tell you of the charges that you're facing.
Mi trabajo durante esta audiencia es decirles cuáles son los cargos que usted está encarando.
To set bond on those charges.
Fijarle fianza en aquellos cargos.
To see if you need the assistance of an attorney.
Ver si usted necesita la asistencia de un abogado.
And to provide you with your next court date.
Y decirle cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Sir, you've been charged with one count of driving a vehicle with no insurance.
Señora, usted se le acusa de un cargo de conducir un vehículo sin tener seguro.
The bond for that offense will be set at $1,000.
Y la fianza por ese delito va a ser de $1,000.
You've also been charged with driving a vehicle without a valid license.
También se le acusa de manejar un vehículo sin licencia de conducir válida.
The bond for that offense is also set at $1,000.
Y la fianza por ese delito también va a ser de $1,000.
Finally, you've been charged with failing to yield the right-of-way while turning.
Y finalmente, a usted se le acusa de no ceder el paso mientras doblaba.
The bond for that offense is set at $500.
Y la fianza por ese delito es de $500.
You're going to have a total bond set at $2,500.
Su fianza total va a ser de $2,500.
Your next court date will be March 8th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su próxima corte va a ser el 8 de marzo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
It'll be in courtroom 201.
Va a ser en la sala 201.
However, that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Sin embargo, esa audiencia se cancela tan pronto usted pague su fianza y salga y usted recibiría un nuevo citatorio por correo.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Quiere usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
No.
No.
Oye, espérame, el corte si salgo se va a cancelar en marzo.
So the court date for March is going to be canceled if I get out?
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna otra pregunta para mí, señor?
No.
No.
Okay, finally, sir, it's my duty to tell you that during this and all of the proceedings, you have the following rights.
Y finalmente, señor, es mi trabajo informarle que durante este y todos los procesos siguientes, usted tiene los siguientes derechos.
To the presumption of innocence.
A la presunción de inocencia.
To indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
Hay que se le formule una acusación formal por el jurado indagatorio para la mayoría de los delitos graves o que se le formule una acusación para los delitos menores.
To a speedy and public trial by jury.
De tener un juicio público rápido y por jurado.
To see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
Deber, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que sean citados a testificar en su contra.
to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
De exigir la asistencia de testigos para que testifiquen a su favor.
to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
De testificar a su favor y de presentar pruebas para ser usadas en su defensa.
and to have an attorney represent you.
Y de tener un abogado para que lo represente.
Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna otra pregunta para mí, señor?
No.
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Ok, puede retirarse.
Mr. Robledo, pronounce that for me, Ms. Bermudez.
Robledo.
Robledo.
Yes.
Juan. La puerta.
Good morning, sir.
Buenos días, señor.
And you hear and understand the interpreter?
¿Puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Sí.
Yes.
Sir, this is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Señor, esta es su comparecencia inicial ante el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brad Gardner y yo soy un juez en este tribunal.
I'm here to tell you that you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass.
Yo estoy acá para decirle que a usted se le acusa de un cargo de invasión o daños a la propiedad.
The bond for this offense will be set at $1,500.
Y la fianza por este delito va a ser de $1,500.
However, there will be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Stephanie Martinez.
Sin embargo, va a haber una orden judicial que dice que usted tiene que mantenerse alejado de Stephanie Martínez.
Do you understand the stay away provision, sir?
¿Entiende usted la orden judicial de alejamiento?
If you were to violate this stay away provision, sir, you could face felony charges and remain in jail until your trial.
Si usted infringe o si usted no cumple esta orden de mantenerse alejado, a usted se le podrían imputar cargos por delitos graves y podría tener que permanecer encarcelado hasta que vaya a juicio.
So please don't violate this condition.
O sea que por favor no infrinja esta orden.
Your next court date will be March 8th at 8:30 in the morning.
Su próxima corte va a ser el 8 de marzo a las 8:30 de la mañana.
It'll be at courtroom 201.
Va a ser en la sala 201.
That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail.
Esta audiencia se cancela tan pronto usted pague su fianza y salga, y usted recibiría un nuevo citatorio por correo.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
¿Le gustaría a usted que yo vea si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
No.
No.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna pregunta para mí, señor?
No.
No.
Did you hear the rights that I read to Mr. Bailon?
¿Usted escuchó los derechos que yo le leí al señor Bailón?
Sí.
Yes.
Would you like for me to repeat those rights?
¿Le gustaría a usted que yo le repita esos derechos?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, sir, during this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Ok, señor, durante este y todos los procesos siguientes, usted tiene los siguientes derechos:
To the presumption of innocence,
a la presunción de inocencia,
to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors,
a que se le formule una acusación formal mediante el jurado indagatorio para la mayoría de los delitos graves y que se le formule una acusación para los delitos menores,
to a speedy and public trial by jury,
de tener un juicio público rápido y por jurado,
to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que sean citados a testificar en su contra,
to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
de exigir la asistencia de los testigos para que testifiquen a su favor,
to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
de testificar a su favor o de presentar pruebas para que sean usadas en su defensa,
and to have an attorney represent you.
y de tener un abogado para que lo represente.
Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna otra pregunta para mí, señor?
No.
No.
Okay, sir, you are free to go.
Ok, señor, puede retirarse.
Ms.
Tell me his
Bermudez,
bond amount again.
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry, can you tell me his bond amount again?
$1,500.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I think that completes your time with us today. It was good to see you. Have a good day.
Good seeing you, Judge. You have a good one. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's bring up Mr. D'Angelo Smith.
Put your sheet right there.
Mr. Smith, sir, you've been charged with 7 offenses. There are 2 old warrants from 2019. The first one is 2019 CW 50076, charging you with family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that offense. The second warrant is 2019 CW 50095, charging you with theft by conversion. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that offense. From, I guess, this latest, from this arrest on January 25th, you're charged with 1 count of battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of MDMA. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And crossing the guard line with drugs, gun, or alcohol, bond is going to be set at $5,000. So you're going to have the drug possession is a felony. The crossing the guard line is a felony. The theft by conversion is a felony. And the family violence battery is a misdemeanor. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Natasha Robertson. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I don't understand. I don't understand none of it. Sir.
Okay. Would you like for hold on. So when you ask me a question, you got to give me a chance to answer. You said you don't understand.
I don't understand any of that. I don't understand the story. The 19, I don't understand any of it. I don't understand any of it at all.
Mr. Smith, would you like for me to explain it to you, or do you want to keep telling me you don't understand?
I'll ask you to explain to me again, sir.
Okay. So there's a warrant that was issued on January 5th of 2019 by Judge McFarland, charging you with theft by conversion. The allegation is that you had a vehicle that belonged to Miss Robertson, and you dropped her off at work, and you were supposed to come back and pick her up, and you didn't come and pick her up. And she came over to try to get her car, and you took her phone and threw her phone on the ground. And sir, you asked me, let me tell you, okay?
Sorry.
So let's take this as a given. These are allegations. That's why we appoint lawyers. Every single person that has been found not guilty at trial was charged with something. Okay, so you don't have to, you stand here as an innocent man, okay? You said you didn't understand, so I'm trying to at least give you the information. Can I do that? Okay, so the allegation as it relates to the battery is that you grabbed her by the hair, calling her to fall down a flight of stairs, and that you kicked her while she was on the ground. And all of this was alleged to have occurred on January 4th of 2019. Okay.
No.
So what we have from the 25th. There's an allegation that while at Southern Regional Hospital, that you were told to leave and you didn't leave, and that without justification, you obstructed a lawful arrest by refusing to place your hands behind your back and attempting to flee the scene while being taken into custody by the police. Says you continued to pull your arms up to your chest while on the ground, and officers had to physically place your hands behind your back. That you did without lawful justification caused 2 uniformed officers injuries, Officer Jackson and Sergeant Brown, while resisting arrest. While being booked in at the Clayton County Jail, it said you did cross the guard line with a small clear baggie of pink pills that field tested positive for mDNA. So I'm not asking you to agree. Do you understand the allegations against you now?
I understand the allegations against me, but I don't understand where they come from, but I understand the allegations. So I can,
Okay. Would you like for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
yes, sir.
Are you currently working?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per hour?
Between I work 2 different jobs. So my first job, I make $11.50 an hour. My second one, I was making $15 an hour.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you will get a new court date in the mail. Now, do you understand the stay away provision as it relates to Miss Robertson?
No, sir. I just understand the allegations, and I got to bond out, and I got to give me a lawyer to come in. I just understand where I don't have the funds to do so. So I'm trying hard to keep my job and keep my 5 children intact, and so I don't understand. I don't understand how one something that I was never there. I don't even know this person. I haven't my name. I haven't had a warrant. I haven't had any problem. My name. I don't have any problem.
Okay, from what I understand from the allegations from the 25th, you were arrested at the hospital.
I was arrested at the hospital. I've been to the hospital many times, a different hospital. Like I'm a schizophrenic patient. And sometimes I need extra. When I come in and ask them, when I come in and tell them who I am, give my information, they would already have a chart. I can go. They would have a chart. So as I'm telling them already, they now I need some help.
Okay.
So I came to the hospital. I keep refusing a lot in the hospital because I needed help. Mental help. I was too high. I needed help to be stabilized. I was in physical condition. But so they that's what the car came out. When I went to leave, they grabbed me. They put me down.
Okay. So you're going to need to speak to your lawyer, because some things that you said, your lawyer may be able to assist you, but you're going to have to speak to the lawyer. Okay.
Excuse me, I don't understand a lot of things. How?
When you say you don't understand, it sounds like you're saying you disagree.
No, Your Honor, I don't understand a lot of things. Like,
okay. So, Mr. Smith, I've appointed you a lawyer. You're going to need to speak to the lawyer.
yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Smith. You're free to go back, sir.
All right, going back to intake. Thanks, sir.
Okay, let's switch over to the ladies' side. We're going to start with Miss Dubar.
Dunbar.
You said Dunbar?
Dunbar Wolf.
Okay, it's a typo on the bond. I'm gonna amend it to say Dunbar. Give me 1 second. Miss Dunbar, ma'am, you're charged with 1 count of driving on the wrong side of the road. The bond is going to be set at $100 for that. And you're charged with one count of homicide by vehicle in the second degree. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. These are both misdemeanor offenses. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
One of the charge that you mentioned, the one for 500.
Driving on the wrong side of the road.
That does apply to what happened. So I don't know if I can.
Ma'am, we're not here to try your case, okay? I've appointed a lawyer to represent you, and I'm gonna ask for you to speak to that lawyer. Oh, stay right there, Ms. Dunbar. Let me just say this one time, so that it applies to everybody. So let's bring up the male side again. Okay, so for everyone, this is your first appearance hearing before a magistrate court in Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of the case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, and to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, and this is for the purpose of qualifying everyone for an attorney if you so desire. Just raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, thank you. Now, I muted the lady side because I was getting feedback. So would you unmute? Ms. Dunbar, would you thank you. So, Ms. Dunbar, did that help as to any questions that you may have as to what's going on?
Right, I'm not too familiar with the court and how it really works, but you mentioned, the bond of 10,000 plus the 500. Does that say if it is paid today that I get to be here today?
Yes.
Okay. And do I have the option of paying via, property?
Yes.
Okay. And can you give me that figure in property, or is it the same? I'm not sure.
So it would be the same. What essentially happens is if you have property in Clayton County, property has to have at least 3 times equity of the bond amount. So property would have at least have to have a net equity of about $35,000. The sheriff's department will place a lien on the property until your case is resolved, and then they will remove the lien from the property.
But I wouldn't be able to leave if I do that, via that way, right, today?
I don't know how long that takes. You can ask them. Your bond information will get entered into the computer today. When this hearing is over, I prepare everything and I send it back to the sheriff's department, and then they start inputting the information. So the longer this hearing lasts, the longer you stay in jail.
Okay, right.
But you have a bond amount. You should be able to contact friends or relatives or a bonding company or anyone, whatever, however you're going to post your bond, and start making those arrangements. So when the paperwork comes back, you'll be ready to go.
So regardless if I'm using the cash or the property, I still have to contact those companies?
I didn't understand that question.
Okay, regardless if I have to use the cash or the property, do I still have to contact those, bonding companies?
No.
It's just for the, property, right?
You contact the bonding company if you're going to use a bonding company. That's the commercial part. It's cash, commercial, or property. So cash, you can pay the entire amount in cash and you'll get that money back when the case is over. You can go through a bonding company where you pay a fee to the bonding company, but that fee will not be returned. Or you can use property and they'll put a lien on the property and remove the lien when the case is resolved.
All right, so let me just, repeat something that I think you just said. You said the 10,500 that I pay, if I paid in cash, it would be returned at the end of the term?
The end of your case, yes.
Okay, all right, got it. Thanks much.
You're welcome. Anything else, ma'am?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay, ma'am. You are free to go back.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Harris? Ms. Harris, ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of obstructing an officer. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You've been charged with 1 count of misdemeanor false report of a crime. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. And 1 count of interference with government property, which is a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? I'm sorry, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, ma'am, how much do you make per hour or per month?
$15 per hour.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. Ms. Johnson?
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Johnson. On the pre-printed bond order, there was only one warrant listed, but you have 3 warrants. In this particular case, the first warrant is warrant number 2020 CW 50965, charging you with making false statements. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. 1 count of misdemeanor obstruction of an officer, and warrant number 2020 CW 50966. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. And 1 count of aggressive driving, which is in warrant number 2020 CW 50967. Bond is also going to be set at $3,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You said no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
So basically, the bond was 5,000, 3,000, 3,000.
Total bond is 10,000.
Okay.
Anything else, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that complete the ladies' side?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for your assistance. Let's switch over to the male side.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Boykin and Mr. Brown, they stepped out for a second. We will start with Mr. Butler.
Okay, did you hear that, Miss Mary?
Boykin, we're gonna start with Butler.
We're gonna start with Butler. Mr. Butler,
How you doing?
how you doing, sir? You're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. This is a felony offense. I cannot set bond on this offense at this time pursuant to statute 17-10-1. It appears like that you're still on probation.
I ain't no probation.
I understand, sir. You charged in the next count of speeding. The bond is going to be set at $1,500. 1 count of hit and run accident, bond is going to be set at $4,000. And 1 count of driving a vehicle without a valid license, bond is going to be set at $1,000. Now, when bond is denied pursuant to statute 17-10-1, which there's an indication that you're either on probation or parole, it does not allow me to set a bond at this stage. If you are not on probation or parole, your lawyer can show that information. And
Where is he?
and
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna let you speak when I'm done.
I'm sorry. My bad.
And if that's the case, then a bond can be set. But I can't set a bond when it shows that you were on either probation or parole. So go ahead, sir.
So he's saying I'm on parole or probation right now?
Yes, sir. Hold on. Let me try to pull it up. Okay. So according to this, you have 12 cycles, and a cycle is every time that you interact with the police. It goes onto your criminal history. Let's see. You're convicted in Monroe County Superior Court on September 21st, 2021 in case number 21 CR 00012 and sentenced to 12 months probation.
Not, keep going.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, that's wrong. They end up giving me time served for it.
Okay. Well, it says probation. They may have given you time and then placed you on probation, but it says you were fined $300 and sentenced to 12 months probation on September 21st of 2021.
Well, they just had me pay the $300 fine, and the judge, they was gonna give me 12 months probation, but the judge countered that and said 12 months time served. But even though I didn't do no time, that's the way he put it in the system, I think was supposed to. How do I go about getting that straightened out?
Do you have your own lawyer, or do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
You can appoint me one.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Speak to your lawyer about this incident, and the lawyer should be able to get that documentation.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
If I can contact them or something, would that be fine too?
Can you take what?
I said if I could contact Monroe County and get them the facts over or send something over, would that be fine too? Or it has to be through the lawyer?
It's gonna have to be through the lawyer. Because I don't believe that they will fax something over. Maybe they will, but your best bet is to go through your lawyer so your lawyer can get a copy of this and provide it to the district attorney's office. Okay.
Yeah. So when I'm gonna see my lawyer?
So the paperwork goes over today. And it'll be the Clayton County Public Defender's Office. I'm also setting a bond hearing date for you for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Now, again, if this is a mistake, hold on, Mr. Butler. If this is a mistake, this is something that probably. So, Mr. Butler, like I said, you have 12 cycles, and I know it may seem like the system is doing you wrong, but you got to stay out of the system.
I've been out of the system a year or two.
Okay. Is there anything else, Mr. Butler?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Your Honor, Mr. Boykin and Mr. Brown, they returned.
Okay, let's bring up Mr. Boykin.
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Mr. Boykin. Sir, you're charged with one count of armed robbery. I am not allowed to set bond on this offense pursuant to 17-6-1. You're charged with one count of terroristic threats or acts, which is a felony. I'm denying bond on that offense. You're charged with one count of entering an automobile, which is a felony. I'm denying bond on that offense. Criminal attempt to commit vehicular hijacking. That's a felony offense. I'm denying bond on that. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime is a felony, and I'm denying bond on that. Carrying a concealed weapon is a misdemeanor. It's going to be a $5,000 bond set for that. Possession of less than an ounce of marijuana, that's also a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. And obstructing an officer, which is a misdemeanor, bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get, it's not going to get waived. I'm setting.
What is waived? Excuse me if you don't mind me asking.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
Okay. I'm setting a bond hearing date for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning. courtroom 201. So what was your question, sir?
So excuse me, what's preliminary? What does that mean?
That's where the state has to bring witnesses to try to prove that there's probable cause for your case to get bound over to Superior Court.
Okay, so, I didn't, if anything, I gave the dude.
Don't talk about your case, please.
Bribery or none of that, cause you know, they ain't get taken from nobody but my life
Okay.
right now, you know what I mean?
Mr. Boykin, do you want me to appoint you a lawyer?
Yes,
Okay, I'm going to appoint you a lawyer, Mr. Boykin, and you got to understand this is being recorded. So you don't have to speak about your case. Speak to your case, speak about your case to your lawyer.
all right.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else, Mr. Boykin?
Excuse me. So, I still didn't get the numbers out of my phone and all that, but I, like, what do you see the bond in? Like,
I have no idea.
I was just supposed to turn 20 yesterday, and I'm shining. It seemed like I'm shining all my bad luck. Like, I haven't done anything. Like, I really ain't even supposed to be locked up because I didn't even put the file on the man or nothing. It wasn't nothing in the head. You feel me?
Mr. Boykin, all you're doing
Yeah,
is you're digging a hole for yourself. Please stop talking. Talk to your lawyer. I've assigned a lawyer to represent you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go back, Mr. Boykin.
Can you, like, I'm hungry. Like, I ain't got nowhere to go. You mean me? I ain't get to my mouth, but bro, I ain't doing nothing. I'm trying to help the dude that I needed to ride in the morning, like 1 something in the morning, lad bus out
Boy,
You feel me?
you're done. You can go back to your room. Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown, sir, you're charged with 1 count of kidnapping. Bond is going to be denied at this point on that offense. That's a felony offense. You're also charged with 1 count of false imprisonment. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be denied on that. 1 count of reckless conduct, which is a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. And 1 count of obstructing or hindering an emergency telephone call. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Jasmine clink scales. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working, sir?
Yes.
About how much do you make per hour?
Probably 12.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell, sir, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated battery. Bond is going to be denied. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be denied at this point because there's an indication that you're on either probation or parole. There's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from Noreen Lancaster. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I'm not on probation or parole, sir.
All right. Do you want me to check?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm not on probation or parole.
Okay.
That's a fact.
Okay. So you have 38 cycles on your GCIC, which means you've had 38 interactions with law enforcement. All right, you received a suspended sentence of 12 months on August 9th of 2021 in case number 2021 CR 02744. A suspended sentence counts as being on probation, even though you're not seeing anyone.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently working?
No, sir.
All right, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a bond hearing set for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Your preliminary hearing date is March 7th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Duffy. Mr. Duffy, sir, you're charged with one count of obstruction of an officer. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you make per hour?
16.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. Going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I do not.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir. I'm Mr. Garrison. Garrison, sir, you're charged with several misdemeanor offenses. Bond is going to be set on all of these offenses. The first charge is violation of Georgia seatbelt law. Bond is going to be set at $500. Improper passing of an emergency vehicle. Bond is going to be set at $500. It says revalidation decal not displayed, which means you're not displaying the decal sticker. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. Improper display of tag. Bond is going to be set at $500. Failure to change the address on your license. Bond is going to be set at $500. And driving on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. These, like I said, these are all misdemeanor offenses. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, like the car I told the officer, like the car wasn't even mine. Like my cousin came to pick it up after he pulled me over. So I didn't know you had to see the expiration date, and it was a cover on it. It was a clear cover. I ain't know all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just driving someone coming back.
Okay. Tell your lawyer that, and your lawyer may be able to get some of these charges dropped.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
So you said, what you told her what about again? You said.
All right.
Hey, John, you got a pen? I can see real quick.
Total bond is $4,000. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Mr. Harris? Mr. Harris, sir, you're charged with 2 felony offenses and 2 misdemeanor offenses. The first offense is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. I'm going to deny bond at this stage for that offense. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce, that is a misdemeanor. I'm going to set a $1,500 bond. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, I'm denying bond at this stage on that offense also. That's a felony offense. And then speeding, 83 and a 65. I'm gonna set a $1,000 bond for that. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're gonna also have a bond hearing date set for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Hemingway. Okay, Mr. Hemingway, sir, you're charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses. First is driving a vehicle on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. And 1 count of improper lane change. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, Mr. Hemingway?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Hill.
Hello, Judge.
Good morning. Mr. Hill, you're charged with 1 count of misdemeanor theft by shoplifting. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions for me, Mr. Hill?
No, thank you.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Porter? Mr. Porter, sir, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Bond is going to be denied on that offense because there's an indication that you're on probation or parole. You're charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. That's also a felony offense. Bond is going to be denied because there's an indication you're on probation or parole. And finally, you're charged with 1 count of misdemeanor possession of drug-related objects. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201.
All right.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Yes, okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, you're free to go back, sir. Mr. Simpson.
Simpson. Come on. He's coming up, Your Honor. Come on.
Okay,
Your turn, sir. Yeah, take a little stretch. Yeah, come on. You gotta go see the judge.
Hello.
You.
Right now?
Yeah, you ready? Come on. Mr. Simpson, come on. After you're done, you go back to sleep. Yep, right in front of the computer.
What court?
Mr. Simpson, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $1,500. This is a misdemeanor offense. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer, Mr. Simpson? Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and appoint Mr. Simpson a lawyer. So if there's not anything else, he's free to go back.
Ms. Simpson, come on.
So you saying, with the lawyer, how long will I have to sit in here?
I don't know. The lawyer will see you soon, but I don't work for the law firm is Lister and Holt. I don't work for them, so I can't tell you when they're gonna be there.
Cause I know my mother is here, but she doesn't know, she didn't know I was gonna, get locked up today, but I was only supposed to have a warning. They gave me a warning.
Well, it says that you had gotten several warnings before about not being at the airport.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he was supposed to give me a warning for sleeping or something like that. But next thing I know, he handed me
So, Mr. Simpson, your mother can speak to someone from Lister and Holt. This isn't the crime of the century, but you have to stop going back to the airport when you've been told to stay away from there. Okay.
So without the bond, there's no way we get out other than the bond.
All I heard was other than the bond.
I'm saying, so if I don't bond out now, I'll have to sit in here, right?
Most likely you'll get placed on a misdemeanor jail calendar to have your case resolved. Like I said, this isn't the crime of the century, but you got to stop going to the airport when they're giving you trespass warnings, telling you not to come back. Okay. All right. You're free to go back, sir. Mr. Turner.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Turner, sir, you're charged with 1 count of discharging firearm on the property of another. It's a misdemeanor, and 1 count of reckless conduct. This is also a misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at $5,000 on the discharge of firearm on the property of another, and $3,000 for reckless conduct. Bond is going to be total bond of $8,000. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Nah, not at the moment. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure you got the police.
No, I just have warrants.
The warrant?
The warrant, not an incident report.
Okay.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
All right, you're free to go back, sir. Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker, sir, you're charged with 1 count of speeding between 25 and 30 miles over the speed limit. I set the bond at $1,000. 1 count of driving a vehicle with no insurance, I set the bond at $1,000. 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, I set the bond at $1,500. And 1 felony count of VGCSA, possession of a controlled substance, I've set the bond at $5,000. So you're going to have a total bond set at $8,500. Because of the felony offense, your bond is going to be set. I'm sorry, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 7th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Sarah. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Weaver? Mr. Weaver, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Huh?
Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir.
Okay. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
What's that, sir?
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're in sort of a similar boat as Mr. Simpson, where you've been given trespass warnings to stay away from a certain location. You got to stay away from that location. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Williams?
Yes. Gotta excuse me, sorry.
Mr. Williams, sir, you're charged with 3 misdemeanor offenses. The first charge.
This on the web.
Wow. First charge is loitering or prowling. Bond is set at $1,000. Second charge is public drunkenness. Bond is set at $1,000. And finally, disorderly conduct. Bond is set at $1,500 for a total bond of $3,500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your ability to bond out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too. Finally, we have Mr. Veal.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Veal, those same rights and privileges that I read to everyone else applies to you also. But you're in sort of a slightly different situation. You're here on a charge of what's called fugitive from justice. And what that basically means is that you're wanted, you have a warrant for your arrest out of another state. And in your instance, it looks like it's Orange County Sheriff's Department in Florida want you for a failure to appear warrant, and they've indicated that they will extradite you. Now, if you believe that you're not, and I apologize if I pronounce your name incorrectly, Dayton S. Veal, V-I-E-L.
Correct.
You can challenge this. And it's basically two situations. You're not the person named in the warrant, or you believe the warrant is not valid, meaning it doesn't state a valid offense. If you wanted to challenge that, you just ask for a hearing, and sometime between now and the next 90 days, a hearing will be held to determine essentially whether you are the person named in the warrant and whether the charge of failure to appear is an actual charge. If at the end of that process, the judge determines that You are the person named in the warrant and the charge is valid. The judge will sign off on the extradition warrant, and then Florida will have 30 days and possibly up to 60 days to come get you. If you believe you are the person named in the warrant and that the charge is valid, you can waive that whole period. And then the clock will start running today for that 30 days up to 60 days. Are you staying with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me so far?
My charge is done here with Clayton County. I went to court Friday and I got a sentence. So am I through with Clayton County? You guys trying to release me?
Well, that's probably, I'll say, no. I'll say that that's probably what happens. Is what normally happens if you have charges here and there's a warrant for your arrest out of another state, your case gets to a point of either resolution or you get to the point of bonding out, then the fugitive warrant comes up.
Okay, yes.
So, yeah. So you can, if you want to sign the waiver, you can sign the waiver. If you have any other questions, you can ask me whatever questions you may have.
I have 4 papers. Is that still just the one warrant? Is there any reason if I have 4?
Generally it's 6 or 7.
Okay.
But it's the same thing because they go to different places.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No problem.
Do I sign these papers now and then they call to you?
You sign them now and they'll send them to me, and then I'll sign them and send them back today, and the clock starts to run today.
Okay, all right, that's fine with me.
Okay. All right. Once Mr. Veal signs the warrant, he's the waivers, he'll be free to go back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Requena. Have a good day.
You too, Your Honor. Have a good day.